So hello again. Thank you for stopping by. I wanted to say first and foremost of all, thank you once again for checking this out and responding. I'm having the time of my life, and I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. But as long as you keep looking at it and listening to it, I'm going to keep sending them. And when I get my YouTube channel up and running again, I'll let everyone know. So not clogging up the Facebook. But anyway, I just really appreciate from the bottom of my heart everyone responding and finally and listening to what I could do. Listen to my noise. So this song I've teased it as the best song I've ever written, and it is written about the muse of this song is a lady by the name of Brenda LeBlue. She was my aunt, my mom's sister, and if I could describe her in one word, that would be, wow, it would be life. It would be just, she was effervescent. She was spirit. That's the word, spirit. That would describe her. She was a force of nature. Anybody that knew her, if you knew her, agree with me in the comments. She was incredible, an incredible spirit. She was a minister in a big church down in Florida, and she was married to my Uncle Jim and had 3 beautiful children. Jim Jr., who is now an incredible world traveling success, and my lovely cousin Amanda, who is a student. I'm not really sure what she does for a living. Apologize for that, but she was a hardcore student, so I know whatever she's doing, she's very successful at it. And then there is my man Dave. He was the youngest, and he kind of wandered down the same path I did. And I've been told it's because he saw me perform at somewhere and decided he wanted to try it too. He's much better than I ever was. God, he's so much better. And he's an incredible composer, and he's world traveled and all that. And I want to talk about some of his work in his bands, and he's got an incredible legacy. And I couldn't be more proud of him. Anyway, so the song was written because I was asked, and David was asked, to play at Amanda's wedding. And we had never played on a stage together. And this was kind of my Aunt Brenda's bucket list. And when I say nothing would stop her, let's put it to you this way. In September, as we were planning the wedding, my father passed away in September of 2017. Well, not in September, excuse me, early in 2017. I'm sorry. Early in 2017, my father passed away. And it was really rough on all of us. And we thought he was going to make it. It turned out things turned at the last second. And there was nothing we could do. She was there running the whole show at my dad's wake. She was in charge of everything. And she couldn't speak. She walked around with her little red cell phone and this crazy hand. And she would come up to you and blah, 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 and show you the words or have it say it out for you. And that's how she would talk to you because she couldn't speak. And I'll tell you one thing. And again, I know everyone that knew her about, you would never feel sorry for her having ALS. You would not feel sorry for her at all. You wouldn't even know it. Even though she was speaking through the phone, you wouldn't even know it because she was just that amazingly positive. Anyway. So, we had it planned out. We were trying to figure out how we were going to do it, but her bucket list was to see me and Dave on the same stage together. And Amanda had seen me perform the song Brick House, singing and playing bass. I think it was at my wedding when I was actually married, and wanted me to do that for her. Well, as the wedding was getting planned and we were planning what to do, in September, they had a hurricane warning where they lived in Florida. And it was a mandatory evac. Now, anybody that lives in Florida can tell me what a pain in the you-know-what a mandatory evac is, and 99% of the time, it doesn't really affect you. You don't get anything but hassled and have to pay money for a hotel. It's when the police chase you out of your own home if there's a threat of a hurricane coming. But anyway, during the evac, she wasn't able to retain proper meds and stuff she needed for survival. And she wound up in September, towards the end of September, she wound up in hospice. And we all knew it was coming in. She wouldn't let you get upset about it either. If you were at her bedside, she wouldn't let that happen. You were not allowed to get upset around her. The kind of person she was, put to you this way, somewhere I got a picture of her posing, and I got her speaking to. It's hilarious. I got her a picture of her at her church that she ministered at, posing next to her memorial plaque. That's her, okay, in a nutshell. So I was at work and I was pulling some kind of door hardware out of the back of my van, GMC van, Tabarco van. I was working for Tabarco, and my cell phone rang. And I'm sure all of you can relate. You know that ring. Even though it sounds like every other ring in your phone, you know that one ring is going to be bad news when you're anticipating something to happen. And I got the news on the 22nd, on the 20th, that September 20th, that she had quietly and painlessly passed away with her family right around her, holding her hands. And when I got the news, I was leaning against the bumper, turned around and facing the building, and just kind of slumped down there and put my head on my knees and wrapped my head up in my arms and just let loose a cry. And everyone around me knew what was going on and gave me space, and I appreciate it. And something very strange happened in a good way, because in about 10 minutes, I felt what I could only describe as a hug, an embrace. I felt comforting, that's the only way I can describe it. I never been one that believed in ghosts or anything, but I did feel something. I did feel her comfort wrap around me, as if she was saying, no, you ain't, no, you got work to do. You got work to do. You got to get done here. You got to get home. You got to work on keyboard lines. You got to get going, man. Okay, come on. She was so into all of us musically. And if she was in the same state as I was playing a gig, no matter what, this is when I was a kid coming up in music, she would be on the front row screaming. That's how she was. If me or Dave was playing anyway, she'd be there. If it was possible, she was going to be there. That's how much of a positive support she was. So like I said, I was crying, and I got up, and I felt comfort. And I realized that all I could think about was just happy thoughts of her. I was almost laughing. I was actually having to conceal my laughing because I told everyone what happened, and I didn't want to walk in there laughing because they'd think I'd finally flip my cheese off my cracker and send me away to the padded band. So I came in, and Scott settled, left work, and I went. We had a meeting that night, and we decided we're still going to do the wedding. Everything's still on. We're still going to do the band thing. And after that, I went in and I diligently started playing the keyboards, which I hate having to learn because it's a therapy. It's therapy for me. It's not an instrument. I'm good at it, but I like to improvise. But anyway, and so I'm learning these songs, which are a drag, and it's getting real late. And I said, I better go to bed. I got to be up at 4. I got to get out there and make the donuts. So as I'm going into my bedroom, there's a guitar on my bed, my acoustic guitar, and I pick it up, and it's got a capo on the 2nd fret. And I remember I was working with some little chord formation, and I had a little melody in my head. And if you guys know what I mean by doing a chewed melody or like a scratch melody or whatever, and you're just singing nonsense words and playing the guitar, I would just get the picture of the song across. And I had the partial verse. I've been dealing with that all day and didn't have no idea what I was going to do with it. And then, again, that embrace came. And without just one shot, my hand went to the A, and I played the whole chorus. And most of the lyrics came out of me. Most of what I say now came out of me right then in one shot. And I remember going through it and looking at the mirror and said, you know what? We're not going to get no sleep tonight. And I went in there and I recorded it, what you're hearing. It's never been re-recorded. It's always the very first generation demo. And I know it's got a horrible keyboard solo on it. It sounds like The Price is Right. Ding, ding, ding. Ugh. Anyway. So the song plays on, and I never re-recorded it because it was too personal. I couldn't imagine playing it on stage anywhere. And funny thing happened. The more people I played it for, the more of the most weirdest response I was getting. Not the normal, hey, that sounds good, or hey, can I have a copy? No. Very weird responses. Put it to you this way. I've never heard my brother, Billy, don't get upset, but I've never heard him go out of his way to say anything or ask me about a song. And I'll play him songs all the time. He's like, oh, that's cool. That's good, you know. But when he heard the song, he replied in a way he never did. He went, damn. And I knew I had something then. And people tell me it's the best song I ever wrote, even though they don't understand what the lyrics mean. And I think I cut into what it is. The song is kind of a drinking tribute song, but it's kind of softer. And it says itself what it's about. Excuse me. As if, you know, we set a place for her right there by the stage and by the dance floor. And that's what the song was about, just writing about that little space we saved and the meaning behind it. So I played it, you know, I hadn't played the song. We didn't play the song there, and not, you know, it never came around anymore. But I'd play it for people occasionally to see a softer side of what I do. And it brings me to the second part of the video, because the song reaches through to people and it moves them. And that, to me, is the definition of art. Art, by my definition, is the ability to reach out, whether it be through theater, through painting, through photograph, through song, to reach out to somebody and move them, to make a connection with them, and to move them and take them somewhere. That, to me, is art. Subjectivity, objectivity, I don't care. That's what art is. And this pipe dream I've been chasing all these years, to be a successful musician, cost me ever having a family, ever having kids, ever having, you know, my own house and a rudiment life and friends and whatnot that would, you know, grow up with, because you can't grow up when you're a musician. You kind of got locked into, you know, a certain thing. But I realized recently that my definition of what a success is in this business was really skewed. It was really bad. The true definition I found is that, to reach out and get through to somebody and make a connection and move someone. That's the definition of a successful artist, in my opinion. And I've realized I can do that now. So every time I've been told a song is good, every time I've been asked questions about the song, I realize I'm very successful at what I did. And it was all worth it. So thank you once again, and I hope you enjoyed the song. Saved a place just for you.